So we've all heard the rumors over the past couple weeks that Eddie Hearn is having trouble securing this rematch with Andy Ruiz. Oscar De La Hoya came out and said as much, and that poured fuel on the fire. Now Andy Ruiz has come out and said that he will not, under any circumstances, fight Anthony Joshua in the UK. It must be in the United States because, quote, we call the shots now, or I call the shots now, we're the A-side. So this is interesting because you would have thought that Eddie Hearn, with all the money that he has, with all the top lawyers that he's got, and the same goes for Joshua and his management team, that they would have made their contract watertight. That the contract that Andy Ruiz signed, there would have been no loopholes in it for him to start all of a sudden saying, well, I'm not going to fight where you want me to fight. Because that's the implication. That's what Eddie Hearn implied, is that in the contract, if Anthony Joshua was to lose to Ruiz first time around, in the rematch, he'd get to pick the location of the rematch. Yeah, that's certainly what Eddie Hearn has indicated. If there was some kind of loophole left, I've got no sympathy for Eddie Hearn or Anthony Joshua. They've got enough money. They've got enough experience. They should have made sure to cross all the T's and dot all the I's. And if they didn't, and if Ruiz's people, Al Heyman, etc., have managed to get in there and find a loophole they can exploit, well, what do you expect? This is business at the end of the day. They want to keep hold of those belts. They want to do whatever they can to make sure that they've got all the heavyweight titles in the PBC stable. If Eddie Hearn was in the same position, he might try and do the same thing. Get his client the best possible opportunity to retain those titles. So, again, it's obviously infuriating to a lot of Anthony Joshua fans, to a lot of Matchroom fans, etc. But at the end of the day, they've got no excuse. Yeah? If Andy Ruiz is now exploiting certain loopholes in the contract, well, who's to blame for that? The person that left the loopholes in the contract. That's who's to blame. Eddie Hearn, should have, as I say, crossed all the T's and dotted all the I's. And as I've said in previous videos, I do think that the location this fight takes place at will have a bearing on the outcome of the fight. If the fight is in the UK, I'll probably lean towards Anthony Joshua. If the fight is in the United States, I'll probably lean towards Andy Ruiz. Yeah, because AJ is going to have to box very carefully, cautiously, maybe even stink the place out. Because it's not just about, getting in there and beating Ruiz. It's about getting in there and conquering the demons in his own mind of the first fight. So can he do that in the United States as opposed to the UK? Because in the United States, as I've said before, I think the crowd is going to be not so pro AJ. There's going to be a lot of Brits there, don't get it twisted, but there's going to be a lot of Mexicans there too, a lot of American fans. And I don't think the judges and the referee will be so pro AJ in this particular rematch if it's in the United States. And the vibe and everything will be, because look, let's not get it twisted. This is a competitive fight, in my view. The rematch is competitive. And when you're dealing with a competitive matchup, the littlest things, the smallest details can swing the fight one way or the other. You're talking about tiny margins of error. And that's why I think the location is going to be very, very important. I'm not saying Anthony Joshua can't win abroad, but personally, I would lean towards Ruiz winning if it's in the United States again. In the UK, AJ will not have the pressure to be exciting. The British fans will accept him stinking the place out. They'll be cheering him on. with their, oh, Anthony Joshua and all that kind of stuff. And it will be familiar territory for him. The dressing room that he knows so well at the Principality, the good memories of the Principality of, you know, the fights he's had there and the people he's beat. You know, just a couple hours drive from where he lives. So, yeah, that's my take on it. Once again, to reiterate, I can't give Matchroom or AJ any sympathy for dropping the ball, potentially, with this contract. Not having their lawyers, you know, or maybe not having the right lawyers or the right manager or whoever it was. And if AJ gets forced to fight this rematch in the United States, he needs to sack whoever didn't take care of that contract the way they should have done. That's what he needs to do. They need to get sacked. And they need to get some proper people on board. Yeah. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about this news. Andy Ruiz coming out saying that he calls the shots and he's the A-side and all this kind of business. No more Mr. Nice Guy, right? Because Andy Ruiz was this affable character. He rocked AJ to sleep before the fight. And then he was anything but nice in the ring. And now that he's got hold of the belts, again, no more Mr. Nice Guy. Now he's calling AJ a robot. Now he's saying we call the terms. Now he's saying he's not a good boxer. People saying that Andy Ruiz is showing an arrogant side. Maybe that was always in him, because at the end of the day, we don't know these boxers personally. We don't know them in their day-to-day lives. We just see their public persona. So maybe that arrogance was always in him. But then again, maybe since he's a new inductee into the PBC Al Heyman cult, maybe they're kind of gassing him up, talking in his ear, because that's what they do over there. Let's be real. There's two cults, in my view, there's two cults that exist in boxing right now. There's the PBC Al Heyman cult, and there's the Tyson Fury cult. Those two things are genuinely cults. Outside of that, I wouldn't necessarily, call any group of fans or any promotional outfit a cult. But the Al Heyman PBC guys, man, they all talk the same. They all say, thank you, Al Heyman, before they even thank God. Before they even thank their team, they're thanking Al Heyman. Like, it's very, very cultish over there with PBC. They all talk the same. They all start talking about crossing this side of the street and all this, using the same language and whatnot. Very, very weird. Has Andy Ruiz now fully been embraced by the PBC Al Heyman cult since he turned AJ over? Who knows? Maybe. Maybe that's why he's talking the way he is now. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. It's happening. I'm out. Join me on Patreon. I upload a minimum of 2 podcasts every single week, covering a wide variety of controversial topics, as well as live stream Q&A sessions. Take a look on screen right now at some of the podcasts I've produced so far. For just $3 a month, the equivalent of about £2 a month, you get access to all my new podcasts and my entire back catalogue of past podcasts, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen on your computer or on your smartphone or tablet by downloading the Patreon app from the Google Play Store or the App Store for free. The Patreon app also allows you to download each podcast in MP3. For less than the price of a cup of coffee, you get access to dozens of hours of exclusive content. It's easy to sign up, there's no contract, and you can cancel at any time. So come and join our community of free and critical thinkers by signing up with me here on Patreon today.